Welcome back to the Hunter of Dividends YouTube channel. This is Kyle Hunter, aka the Hunter of Dividends. Hope everybody's having a good week. I want to take a little bit of time here today. As always, I'll keep these videos quick because I do know your time is valuable. I'm going to try to make this concise and yet educational, informational. So let's look at the stock market. Is it in a bottoming process? Where is the stock market's bottom? Does it matter for dividend investors to be able to look at something like this? And I want to look at a recent example, something I wanted to point out here from my Twitter timeline. If you don't follow me already, at Hunt Dividends on Twitter, follow me there. This is last Thursday when I was posting my stock buys for the day. And if you do want to know my buys for each day, when I have a large list of buys, I do post those at the end of each day. If I just buy one or two stocks, I don't always put a recap there, but I always love to chat with people about what they're buying into, what they like, what they don't like. As you see from this one, there was Thursday dividend stock buys. There's quite a few of them. The first comment on here was pretty interesting because this person said, "Dang, someone's bullish." And it made me think that I wanted to do a video on this because, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. And I think that we can be helpful to investors in general by being honest. That's one of the things that I do in business, and everything I do is I want to be honest and transparent. So the reason I put a lot of these stock buys up here is so that people can see what I'm doing, if it wins or if it loses, or if it long-term is a good play, or if it's not. You're going to know about it. Now, in this case, does it mean that I'm extremely bullish? Long term, yes. But I've seen some of the other comments on my other posts like, wow, this person thinks, Hunter thinks the bottom is already in stocks. Here we go. That is not what I think necessarily here. The reason I'm doing this is I'm dollar cost averaging in. I do not know exactly where the bottom is in the stock market. Most likely you don't either. If you do know, please let me know. There are some people that try to time the market. I think timing the market is pretty dangerous. What I do want to do is try to buy quality names at a discount. So you see some of these names that I'm buying right here. If you want, you can drop it in the comments below. If you want me to do a full portfolio review where I show you what I have in my portfolio, I'm happy to do that as well. This is something where I just think that looking for the bottom in stocks is a dangerous thing because there's no blinking light that tells you when it's at the bottom. If you're waiting for somebody to tell you a recession's happening, the stock market's always forward looking. So you need to be forward looking as well. What I'm trying to do here is buy quality names that I see are much cheaper than they've been in a long time here. And I'm going to be happy to dollar cost average into names like this in a stock market that, frankly, has done extremely well in the long term. In the short term, stock market has really been on a rough run here. As today, as I record this, certainly the stock market's bouncing up nicely here on Monday, June 21st. But this is coming from a bad spot. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ is down even harder. Look at the last 6 months. The chart's pretty ugly. The last year, 5 years, you can still see that the market's done well. Max, if you look at the max, these are bumps in the road. This is the Great Recession of 2008. This is the dot-com bubble in 2000. So my point here is, if you're a dividend stock investor, I think it's best for you to not worry about, are we actually at the bottom or are we not? I want to get discounts on quality names. I don't know if we're at the bottom. Most likely you don't know if we're at the bottom or not. And I think we can be more honest with ourselves by saying, I don't exactly know where the stock market's going in the short term, but I know long term it's delivered 9, 10, 11%, about 10% long term in the stock market. And these dividend growth names that are being discounted, I think, I'm happy to get into these names without knowing if the bottom's here. Let's be honest. Interest rates going up, not a great thing for the stock market in general, though the Fed has to raise rates. They're definitely in a box with inflation as it is. So the growth names have been beaten down pretty hard. The dividend names have held up a little bit better, but I think we should just get out of this mentality of exactly finding the market bottom and finding more consistency. Buying stocks, I buy stocks a little bit every single week. I buy stocks a lot more. In some of these recaps, people are saying, why are you putting thousands of dollars in the stock market in one day. Why did you invest three, four, 5,000 in one day? I'm just trying to buy when nobody else wants to buy. I'm looking to be greedy when others are fearful, as Buffett would say. So I just wanted to take a quick look at the stock market and talk about this a little bit. Dividend stock investors, I really think this is an important point that you want to be consistent and keep investing in the market more than you want to try to time the market. Now, when the market is down, stuff's on sale, you want to increase your buys. I'm good with that. That's certainly what I'm doing. But I think that completely trying to time the stock market is really dangerous. Many people have lost out on that long term by waiting and waiting and waiting for the bottom. Frankly, it's something I've had to learn personally. There's been so many times that I say, "Oh man, the talking heads on CNBC or wherever it may be are saying that things are going to get worse before they get better. So I'll wait even longer." And then before you know it, there goes the stock market up again. If we look again at this long-term chart, the max in 2008, 2009, people were saying, it was going to get much worse. The stock market was down 50 some percent. It was going to get much worse before it got better. In 2000, the sky's falling, these tech names, they'll never come back. Some of them didn't, certainly, but the best names were still there. And long term, the stock market, I still am confident that you will make money in the stock market long term. It's a great driver of, investment growth, portfolio growth long term. So let's try to stop looking for an exact bottom in the market. Instead, take the discounts that the market is giving us. So that's my goal, is to take a look at what is discounted that are quality names, and try to commit to a plan of investing constantly going forward. So that's what I like to do. If you want me to, I can post a portfolio review, certainly. If you have any questions, drop them in comments below. Certainly would like to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the stock market? Is now a good time? I personally think the stock market might drop a little bit more. I'm not really confident that the bottom is in here. The bottom's even really close to being in. Having said that, I'm going to keep buying in, and I'm happy to dollar cost average into these names. So we've seen a lot of carnage in the growth names. The dividend names are down a decent amount as well. So I'll take the discount, and I'll be happy to look at those 10, 15, 20 years in the future. So what is your plan? Put it in the comments below. Certainly give this a thumbs up. I would appreciate it very much. Subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions, drop them below. Follow me at Hunt Dividends on Twitter. And I'll be taking a look at some specific stocks in videos coming up soon. So stay tuned, and I will see you then.